So a few months ago, I'm just scrolling looking at different shit, and I come across this page called Scum Pit Toys, and I seen all these crazy ass looking figures. I was shocked. And then I seen this playset that they did, and I was like, oh my God, I cannot believe what I'm seeing. I was in love. I'm like, you know what? I could do some shit with that. So I knew this Gore Chasm playset, plus some of these figures, I needed to get my hands on it. So I reached out to the owner, Mike Riggs, to see what he could do for me. And come to find out, he was a Motu Origins collector and was familiar with the channel. So he said he'd give me a good deal on one. And after we started talking, come to find out, all these figures that he makes, which was inspired by a style figure called Fight Figure, which was made most well known by this company's secret base, but his take on it is a lot more crazier than you see right here. So I took a look at his website, and as you can see here, Scum Pit Toys has 4 different sublines: Hooligan City, then we got the main line Cultist right there, which is what I got from him, and we'll go over all them figures in a second. And then we got Atomica Exotica, which is more, you know what I'm saying, Tiki type inspired. And then this one right here, Superior Machines, which was Sentinel one that I showed you. But checking up in the website itself, right here in the shop, looking at these figures, you see that fucking face right there. You see all the craziness going on? I gotta give me some of these. And then scrolling through right there, taking a look at some of the different color variants that he's got, which he does short runs of about 20 or 30 of them, which makes them super rare. But the colors on these things pop. And yep, I gotta give me some of these with the playset. So right here is the Wave 2 that he's currently making different color variants of. And with each of these having their own unique design, I love it. So then he started showing me pictures of the test run one that he had printed out. And this is the one that he was gonna send me. And he was nice enough to personally paint it in the Anti-Eternia colors that I wanted. So right here, folks, 2 months later, here it is, folks. He sent me the bundle pack, which he plans on releasing, doing pre-orders in January, which will come with a couple comics right here. I got a little figure right there, and then 2 of the bigger figures. Look at that little guy. And then this one right here, he based it on some Anti-Eternia colors for me. That one, he just remixed some colors for it. And that right there, that shit, oh, I love it. Oh, I can't wait to go over this. But first off, we're gonna go over these figures, which as you can see are from the Cultist subline for Scum Pit Toys. So that's the front of the package, but let's flip him around. And right there at the top, showing a couple pictures of a couple different ones within the Cultist line. And I'm loving them crazy ass faces. You know I love a crazy fucking face. And it comes with a couple unique stickers in each one. But let's pop them open right here. We're gonna check out each figure from front to back. We're gonna start off with the goat looking figure named Ocest. His ass is looking pretty crazy. I don't know how he comes up with this stuff. This is the type of stuff that I would not want to be looking at if I'm on some type of psychedelic drugs, you know what I mean? But starting off at the bottom right here, he's got some crazy looking hoof feet. But he's got his little medicine bag right there on the side. There's like little power orb looking shit coming out the chest. But that fucking face, oh shit. The eyes, I don't know. What is that leaking out the eyes of the black blood? I don't know, but I like it. And then them arms right there, nice long looking arms. Just to grab somebody up. Let's flip his ass around real quick. We get a better look right there. He's got a little shank knife on the back right there. Stab somebody up if need be. And then right here coming up, just the colors in general. All these things are soft vinyl, so it's built to last. And then right up there on the top of the head, he's got a candle just melting down, you know what I mean? Freaky ass shit. I know some of y'all are into some freaky ass shit like this, and I'm liking the way this one looks. But moving over to this Anti-Eternia version of the half-rotted ape named Morvigore. His ass is looking equally as crazy. Them red and black colors, like I said with my previous Anti-Eternia figures, they make shit pop. I don't care what it is. Loving the hoof feet with the little skull right there on each one. But it's those veiny-ass monkey arms, they really pop to me. I love the way that looks. What's on his right arm, he looks like he's got some type of gauntlet with some Wolverine claws in it. But that fucking face right there, with the no eyes, just a Skeletor type of look, with the Frankenstein staples going around the head. That shit is some nightmare fuel, I tell you that much. Look at that shit. Even got the crack in the skull going on. Let's flip his ass around real quick. You can see he's also got a little Anti-Eternia shank knife on the back of his body. Working our way up. Look like he's got some flesh exposed coming out the back right there. Also on the shoulder. And then my man's got some hang time right there. The hair coming down, followed by the skull up top. Beautiful sculpt. Wonderful looking figures, each one. And as you can see, they got the 3 points of articulation. Both arms and the head move, keeping to the style of a fight figure. But then right here, we got one of the soul leeches, which to me looks like a little Demogorgon child and shit. But actually, it was not inspired by that at all. Mike just wanted to make a face with a whole bunch of teeth. And then right here on the back of the body, he's got his hood on. I love the little fade from the one color to the next. But the one thing that I'm really noticing is my man's got an ass on him. I'm just saying, I'm shocked to see a little ass that big. But right here, I had to put him in a Demogorgon's head. And look at that shit, oh my goodness. He's got a little baby, little Demogorgon baby. Look at the other two, they're like, he's not a Demogorgon. Put his ass down. He's ready to give him the slap of life right there. Give him a face palm to the face. But all in all, I am absolutely in love with the style of each one. But coming down here, let's take a look at the other stuff that came with the figures. And that's these cultist themed stickers right here. A picture of one of the other figures in the line. Right there, you can tell the one was inspired by the Wu-Tang Clan. But then right here, we got the mini comics, which I must say is needed to grow a line and help show backstory. And he's got some backstory up in these bitches right here. So popping them open, I just wanted to show y'all some of the artwork and how they did this. Oh my God! This really brings the figures to life. I enjoyed each one of these mini comics, which they each have their own self-contained stories, but it's all growing to one bigger one, which he did have a successful Kickstarter not too long ago, which he's bringing out a graphic novel, which I say was a great idea because this artwork is something you just want to see more of. So that's it with all the stuff that I got from the Cultist line. But my best buddy, Matt Hatter, he had a chance to go to Designer Con where he got to see the Scum Pit Toys booth in person. So let's take a look through his eyes right now.
There's only so much you can like absorb, so you just have to kind of get a look if you're interested. If I'm not interested in the first like second, like the first, I give it like 3 seconds and then you just gotta move on. That's how it works. Look at these eyes right here. It's pretty creepy.
Is that fucking Mad Hatter? Fucking Mad Hatter? Is that fucking Mad Hatter?
At this booth right here, Scum Pit Toys for sale. Some unpainted baby boys, and then Moo Zombie, Above the Urchin, assorted, just a lot of fun, like assorted stuff. I like this Jungle Rot Zombie. Okay, this is like fun stuff. You can kind of create like a tiki room, all right, and just kind of like put these around, and you know, you invite your guests in there, you have a conversation. They're like, "What's that?" And then you know, basically like hold court, and then they drive back, going, "What the fuck was that guy talking about?" Some of my Designer Con haul, and I got this one from Scum Pit Toys. Look how awesome the art is. Kind of gives me like almost like Rat Fink vibes, if you remember that. I love how wild it is. And then I get this crazy dude, but then I get a vinyl of Crazy Dude. He's like almost like a Frankenstein mixed with, I don't know, Cyclops mixed with a really angry teenager. It almost looks like Acme. Fun, really fun. I don't know if you would call it a vinyl. I don't know what you would call it, but you got the one arm and then it's like mutant arm. Okay, don't forget the little fanny pack there. Okay, back in the 90s, I used to rock a fanny pack pretty regularly, and I mean, they tell me that I was cool, and I'm not gonna lie, I still rock one. All right, so I assume that never went out of style. But speaking of things that don't go out of style, this guy right here from Scum Pit Toys, check him out. Really fun, inventive stuff. This is what Designer Con is all about.
Thanks for that, brother. But now it's time to look at the playset right here. And this one was painted in the Anti-Eternia colors. This playset, seeing it in person, is way better than what I expected. He knocked this shit out the park. Do you see the blood coming down the steps? Look at that shit right there. The coloring. This thing right here was personally painted by Mike. He airbrushed this whole thing. Look at the colors in the skull. Look at the little blood splatter all over the thing. Oh, I love it. Thank you so much for this, Mike. This was much needed for my display that I got going on. Them pillars, perfect looking. I love that they got chains hanging off them. Then he got the worm serpents crawling down there into the pit. Right there where people get chained up and tortured to that. With the altar book open. With, I don't know what it says. Hopefully it ain't no crazy type of spell right there. But whatever the fuck it says, I like it. Looks like whatever was written on the one page was written in blood, with the blood splatter all on top of the altar, then coming down right there, and it looks wet, but it ain't wet, folks. He just did a damn good job on it. But it's the overall attention to detail and the coloring. Mike is vicious with an airbrush. Look at the details just in the bricks in general. Then it's got a little thing right here. You see this little dome right here? Well, you can put that little figure in there. A little Demogorgon looking motherfucker. I can fit his ass in there. Y'all see that shit? He's nice and safe. But then the pillars right there with the chain. Like I said, I'm so glad you added that. Overall, this thing is nice. Very nice. And it's made out of soft vinyl, just like the figures. This thing is strong as shit. You can drop it straight on the ground, you know what I mean? Just flat down, it ain't gonna break. So that's it for looking at the playset. But now I want to set some of his figures on it just to see what it would look like. And that shit looks good. Everything matches perfectly. I love the theme that's going on. And let me tell you something, this shit is pretty big. You know what I mean? And the figures themselves are smaller than Motu figures, especially that little guy right there. But sitting up on this, it looks great. And later on in the video, I'm gonna set it up with my Motu figures. But for what he created, for the line that he got going on, making a playset was a very smart idea. Especially something like this that could be used with other figures and other lines. Very wise idea indeed. I love everything about it. But now it's time to show y'all what it looks like with some Motu figures on it. And here it is, folks. Check this shit out right here. We got Anti-Eternia He-Man and his group torturing this shit out of some different He-Mans from different universes. They sacrificed their ass, put it right there in the pit. You see how I got the ooze in there and shit? Which that shit is pretty decent on its own. I'll show you that in a minute. But right there, Anti-Eternia Orko doing his crazy magical spells. And we got Anti-Eternia Man-at-Arms telling Skeletor to jump his ass on in there. There's room for one more. And he's like, yeah, I don't know about that. I ain't trying to die. But they don't give a shit. Anti-Eternia He-Man's like, get your ass in there. Your ass is done. This playset meet all my expectations and then some. I am so impressed with it. Look, I even got all the swords and everything sprinkled about around the bottom. Everything you see going on at the same time really brings it all to life. Thank you so much, Mike, for this. But the standout thing for me for this whole setup is that ooze right there. That shit, I found it at Five Below. What is this, some Flurp glow putty right here? This shit was real cheap. I took 4 of them, I put them in there, and yes, folks, this shit glows, but it's a nice consistency, you know what I mean? That right there, it'll just conform in its place, but it ain't all super gooey and shit like that. It ain't gonna mess stuff up. Perfect stuff to use for this, and I don't know if Mike planned on for people putting ooze in it, but yes, folks, the ooze works, and I highly recommend picking up some if you gonna pick up this playset, because whether if you're gonna use it for Motu figures, you're gonna use it for his figures, any figures, it don't matter. You just want to display the shit just like that with the ooze in it. That shit is perfect. Let me show you something else this shit can do. So right here, I got the black light on, and you can see it just changes a different type of color. But let me just stand back real quick. Look at that shit. Oh my God, that shit looks good. Oh, I love the way that looks. Just how the glowing is popping right there. Even with his 2 figures under a black light, I love just how the centerpiece in the chest pops. But the overall look in general under a black light, highly recommend that too. Especially with this table cover I got going on. Yeah, this is some crazy looking shit, but the ooze, it even pops even more when you turn the lights off. Look at this shit. The room is completely black. Besides the ooze right there, that shit is so decent. Oh my goodness, I didn't think I would be able to find some cheap ass ooze that would do so much more than I expected it to do. Definitely recommend going to Five Below. Pick up that ooze, even if you just want to use it in general. You want to use it for your slime pit for the horde figures. But look at that shit with the lights on. It's back to red. Turn them off, back to green. But the last thing that I was very impressed with this ooze is right there. I pull them bitches out. It's all in one piece, all intact. And the playset is safe. No paint came off. Nothing is fucked up. That is some good shit. All in all, folks, Scum Pit Toys, y'all is on a roll, and I love what you're doing. He's had this line out for about 7-8 years now. He's on his wave 2 with all the figures that I showed you in the beginning. And with him doing this playset as a bundle pack, where you will get 2 figures right there, them 2, where he's gonna paint them up in color variants looking like Rattler right there on the left, Beastman on the right. And the playset is gonna start off in a Castle Grayskull type of theme color. That's a win-win. If y'all are interested in this, hit him up on Instagram, leave him a message, and he'll put you on the waiting list, so when the pre-orders drop in January, your ass won't miss out. Even if y'all are just interested in the figures in general, which I highly love the design of them, definitely check out his online store. I'm gonna put all his links in the description of the video. But thank y'all folks for taking the time and taking a look at some crazy shit right here, because there's folks out there like Mike that are coming out with things that people need to see. Thanks again, Mike. But other than that, folks, I'll see y'all later. Thanks for watching, folks. And if you like what you saw, do my ass a favor and drop me a like. Subscribe to the channel while you're at it. It ain't gonna hurt you, is it? Come on now. Go ahead and hit the button. I know you have to hit the button. Hit that goddamn button, drop a like. All right, I'm out of here.